What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Two brothers, same mother, and we're here talking about something that kind of getting used to, man. Another Eagles
Right.
loss where the team just looked awful. It was an ugly day outside, looking in Cleveland as well. And I don't know, man. It's just it almost looks like you got every week. I feel like you got one team that prepped and did their homework, and another team that really just went out there and was like, I mean, we hit.
Yeah, it's definitely. Brandon Graham said it during the week. He was just like the issue is how their practice tendencies and things are starting to show on tape. And here's the thing: even in these losses, uh, in the first half, it's just like, yo, if we didn't make this mistake or this didn't happen or that team got lucky with a play, we'd have a two-score lead. And then we come out in the second half and it's just like, yo, we're just going to keep doing what we were doing in the first half, which you can't. You got to make adjustments. You had 30 minutes of seeing what that team is doing, what they're setting you up. So you need to get ready to counteract it. And it just seems like at halftime is just it's like,
There's no
what's going
counterpunch.
on?
There's literally no counterpunch.
Nah.
But before we kind of get down on this 22-17 loss, we're gonna go to what went right, because I do want to start with some positive stuff of what went right. So AJ, tell me what you saw.
All of it, other than one thing, was first half. The game plan coming in, rushing the ball with the run first mentality, plus with the conditions. Even though it wasn't windy, you still with the rain, that was pretty heavy rain. The run game,
Yeah.
also the D line.
Well, hold on.
How
I want to stick on the run game for a moment because,
okay,
both Miles Sanders, Boston Scott took a nasty hit,
in his
and on
back.
the first drive right in his back that, made me kind of stand up straight. But I thought,
Yeah,
Miles once again looked good, and the O-line, especially say Amalu, looked really decent when they were kind of on the attack of that run game in the first half. And for, Sanders and Scott averaged over 5 yards a carry, and it looked like, at least that first quarter and our first drop. Granted, Miles Sanders, bro, two hands on the ball when you go into a crowd like that's, and we'll get into coaching, but we got something there. We definitely got something there in the run.
19 carries for 96 yards in the first half.
Yeah, we got something there every week essentially. With Scott has become a nice change of pace back. I know you mentioned in previous times we probably need one more back that can be a little bit more of a bruiser, just a one cut back that can kind of spell Sanders and kind of, because and I know you mentioned this too. I would like to see the development of a three-headed monster where Sanders takes the bulk of stuff.
Well, they may just signed one, so we'll see.
With Jordan Howard?
Yeah, the one cut, not the premier back. Like Pete, I know Jordan Howard's been in the league for a long time. You and I have discussed privately that there may be issues with his knees or whatever, but maybe if there's not,
Jordan
because
Howard's only in like his fifth year.
yeah. But what I'm saying is he's only 25.
Right.
That's what I was getting to. But like as far as his age, he's only 25. He's a young dude. If he could listen, man, if he could just be a guy to get like eight carries a game. You get what I'm saying? Like you said, change his bruiser a little bit. Maybe so. We'll see.
Right. Now you were going to go into the D line.
Yeah, the D line. That was another thing. As you know, I like to do three. Uh, regardless, so I really have to think. The D line in the first half. Really did good against the run. And really allowed the linebackers to clean it up. And that was the other thing. The third thing was Alex Singleton against that run was just superb, man. He wasn't coming up just like throwing the shoulder in, like he was coming up, wrapping up, he was cleaning up. He really had and I've been noticing him against the run. He is really good against. Not really good. He is a decent player against the run. He had a really good game yesterday, but against the run, but throughout the game. But in the first half, well, sorry, babbling. But in the games that he has played against the run, he's actually been pretty solid.
Well, I want to go back to the D line. I thought compared to the Giants game where they were constantly getting blown off the ball,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought they did really well, especially for the whole game. I mean, even though the run game started gashing a little more, I didn't see the D line getting blown off the ball in the third quarter. Like just totally
I did towards
down
the end of
the
the
field
third
like
quarter.
what they did with the Giants.
Yeah, in
What
the
I
first half,
did
but
see was that they
in the
started doing
second,
counters and they started doing a little bit more stop, and you saw some patience out of Nick Chubb.
nah. I mean, I saw a little bit, but no, I saw literally gashes, holes like this, and Nick Chubb running up and stiffing arming a defensive lineman. But we'll get into that with what went wrong because, like I said, in the first half, it just we'll get into why I feel that there was holes in the
I
second
did
half.
think the tight ends was a bright spot too, as far as in the pass game. Goddard a lot more than Rodgers, even though Rodgers has a rapport with Carson, it seems like, but Rodgers, good guy, can't block to save his life. But I did think that Goddard. I will say this, okay, as far as I'm looking for a bright spot towards the end of the game, Wentz started going and I don't want to say he trusted a little more, but he started going to Rager and Goddard more, and it seems like Rager and Goddard, like especially on that last drive, they are still fighting. They have a want. You could tell that they want to make this work, and that's nothing against. I mean, Fogle just has been absent the past two games. That's not to say he doesn't want it. It's just it's between talent and coaching. But Goddard and Rager, I mean, you could tell that they are bright spots for the future of this team.
They are, but I'm not going to judge it off. I mean, me personally, I'm not going to judge it off that last drive because the Browns went into basically a cover two.
No, but I think most of the game, I mean, Goddard had a pretty decent performance when he got the ball was thrown to him. He didn't have any drop passes. I think Rager, put himself out there. He didn't have any type of drop passes. Goddard did a pretty decent job of blocking when he was asked to. So I
He
mean, in
does
that
do that.
regard, it's in a game that was very, very bleak. I thought that those were two bright spots. You see Rager week after week after week is getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
They're
I
making
really like Rager.
for what it's worth, the Browns did have some tight coverage on some plays and got their hands in as well. You make it easy for them when you don't have good play design, but hey, they did their
No,
job.
you make it easy for them when you. All right, we'll go to what's went wrong if you
Yeah,
want to.
yeah, sure. Go right in.
Um, one of the things was no halftime adjustments, right? So the only adjustment you made, which was a fucking horrible adjustment, was as pre-mentioned in the first half, run game was really good, right? 19 rushes for 96 yards, right? Second half, 6 rushes for 10.
And only two of those rushes went to Miles Sanders. Why?
6 rushes for fucking 10 yards. Like you're a clown. Like seriously. Like and so also so you have that. So you had him drop back so a whole bunch of times. Um, and then once again, what happens? If you notice, he was getting hit a lot more in the second half because what happens? Teams, same thing the Giants do, teams have been doing. They go press coverage, regardless of how good you are as a receiver. If you're getting pressed and physical at the line, it's going to take you an extra half second, whatever, to get out of that to get into your route, no matter how good you are. So you press coverage, and then you send a blitz to an offensive line that can barely block any fucking way.
There was they kept
And
on
you make no
running.
adjustments to it.
They kept on running a receiver to kind of fake the jet sweep, but they never handed the ball off. And you could tell that there was a certain point in the game where nobody would even pay attention to the receiver. It just became 11 on 10
There
because
was
nobody cared. Like they knew it was going to be a run play, and they knew that it wasn't, or that if you were going to pass, basically they knew that receiver who was coming across was not going to be a factor in the play. Period.
Well, they had to in the first half. They ran like a bunch of times, like 8 to 10 times with Rager in the motion, and I think there was like a third down or something to where I think it was one of the last times they did it to where, and that was when I text you and I was like, they're not, it's pointless at this point. Where I think we ran, it was like 3rd and 2 or something like they stopped us. We ended up putting, yo, no, like you said, nobody came over
Right.
and fouled him. If Carson hands that to him, he
Right.
had that, he had a whole sideline. And then they did a jet sweep, like they were going to do a swing pass or like a reverse because they had Greg Ward coming behind Carson. And once again, the defense didn't even react to it. Like the first time they kind of moved, but then after that, they didn't even react to it.
And
Like the
what was
defense,
open, but it doesn't even. I mean, if you're not going to do nothing with it, why have it?
so you're supposed to use it to set up. If you gotta, even if it doesn't work, even if they tackle you and you get to a line of scrimmage, or you only gain 1 or 2 yards on it, but yo, at least it keeps the defense honest. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But the second thing, um, was just
Well, I'll mention somebody because there's two people in particular I want to point out. I mean, beyond listen, I mean, we could get into Carson and all that, but I'm not even going to go there. So in baseball, in the late '90s, there was a player that was actually pretty decent for the Phillies. His name was Doug Lanville. But if there was a man on first, it was a guaranteed double play. We used to call him Double Play Doug. There's a guy on the Eagles named Jalen Mills, and if you know if they run a certain thing, they're going to get away with it. He's now Double Move Mills. That's his nickname. Anytime you run a double move, it's a guaranteed 30, 40 yards. The guy falls for it every single time. And it's what, 4 years? Come on, man. Every single time.
fifth season,
Five.
5 years.
Like, and it's not like, yo, all right, it was a great play design. No, it's the same over and over and over again.
Yeah. Um,
You said it. You said it last week. We got what we could out of Mills. It's a wrap. Jalen Mills, of all the people who have gone on from this team that are having success now because they're getting better coached, whether it's Nelson Aguilar with the Raiders or Sidney Jones with the Jaguars, who's now went from practice squad to their starting corner. Rasul Douglas is kind of cooled down a little bit, but still is having a solid season with the Panthers. Yeah, Jalen Mills ain't going to be one of those people. He's just not.
nah, listen, man. He started out the season, the first like 3 games, actually looked decent, but then like a lot of things, film study. Just you know what I mean? Like you teams know how to attack him. They're just like, yo, he's the same dude, just in a different position. Uh, why? It okay. So on the defensive side of the ball, right? On the defensive side of the ball, let's be real. You're not gonna. This defense ain't gonna stop nobody. Like you get what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna be a top tier defense. There's no way. I would rather at this point for you to have Mills just sit down. You're not gonna resign Mills. You signed him to a 1 year deal, a 1 year prove it deal at safety because it was obvious you were gonna let him walk. And then when Malcolm left, you're like, all right, let's see what Mills can do. Let's see if he can be almost like a Malcolm, not in a leadership aspect, but you know what I mean?
Right.
So let's see what we can do. We sign you a 1 year deal. It's obvious they're not going to resign this dude. At this point in time, you just need to let Kayvon Wallace and Will Parks play out there. Will Parks is a younger dude you got in free agency, but I definitely would make him the third safety.
I'm gonna say I wouldn't sit McLeod, but I got what you're going at.
No, I would sit McLeod. I would have McLeod and Kayvon out there as your safeties. At this point, you might as well.
the way that you could salvage this season, regardless of record. Okay, when I say salvage, I mean that there's some type of positive progression. Let some of these young dudes show you what they can do because now the Alex Singleton love. I like Alex Singleton, but these people talking about something. When I say people, I mean professionals who write or report or who play in the NFL. Okay, so about Alex Singleton has proven himself to be a starting linebacker in the NFL. No, don't do that. He's proven himself to be a reliable backup and a great special teams player. Do not fool yourself into believing that Alex Singleton and TJ Edwards should be your two starting linebackers and that you shouldn't look for a better option. Because although they're not awful, I can't say that those two should be starting if there is a better option out there, either in the draft or on free agency. There's a reason why both dudes were not drafted.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to throw you through a loop. Okay? It depends on the type of defensive front you have. Okay? So a team like the Washington teams like in our division. Okay, I'll say that. Okay? Teams in our division, 3 of the 4 teams are run first team. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
So on first down, yes, Alex Singleton should start. Second and short, third and short, yes, Alex Singleton should start. If it's a passing down, 3rd and 5 or more, you go with that 3 safety, 2 backer set. Alex Singleton should be off the field, if that makes sense.
It does, and that's
on rundowns. Yes, he could. I think he could start at linebacker for us on rundowns. Same thing with TJ Edwards on rundowns. And now that's the issue. Now, if you want to go to like almost like a hybrid type joint, to where you got the 1 backer, you got 3 safeties, like like it's almost like a hybrid nickel, where you got, you know what I mean? Yes, but they should not be, we don't need linebackers. We got these 2. Absolutely not. You definitely need that.
That's my thing. I mean,
linebacker.
I don't want to put ourselves in a position, unless if you have to be in a platoon linebacker setting. Like, you don't pull. And correct me. I mean, you watch this way more than I do, as far as because you're in Ravens country. They don't pull Patrick Queen off the field whenever there's on 3rd and 7. Unless if it's
No, and that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You need that dude. You still. That's what I said. Like if
and so we're saying the same thing. Absolutely.
Yes.
So
I'm cool with them 2 starting, as long as neither one of them are that guy. You know what I'm saying? If you surround him, if you put them 2 with a player like a Patrick Queen, I'm cool with them being started.
And that's what I'm saying.
Like,
people are saying, no,
yeah.
those 2 are the guys. They are the guys.
No,
they're going to be Pro Bowlers. Like that's and that's where I'm getting annoyed. The issue, and to me, I keep on hearing the ESPN chime, and I keep on hoping that it's going to be Jason Peters announces his retirement. That dude needs to go. It's time for Doug Peterson to be, quote unquote, balls Doug or whatever. And it's time for you to sit Peters and put Mailata in there.
I get what you're saying, but it's not going to happen because Doug Peterson's already announced, unless he's hurt. Jason Peters is our left tackle.
Yeah, well, you know what? And here's
he announced that today.
You know why? Because Jeffrey Lurie came out basically and was like, because of COVID, everything's cool. This is a mulligan season. Do what you want. Just like the same thing with the damn Phillies. Just like the same thing with the Sixers. Jeffrey, what you gonna do?
I hope he doesn't listen to this fucking fan base. If he does, I'm done.
Yeah, because
I'm dead serious. No, I'm dead serious. If he listens to this fan base, we're done as a franchise, and I'm done as a fan. Because
and what you mean by that is keep Doug, get rid of Carson.
Keep Doug, get rid of Carson. Stupid.
Let's get to the 5-pack of questions, and I actually have a bonus one that I did not tell you
Hey,
about, but I promise it will be something that's relatively easy. So,
tell him, mom.
what's that?
So I'm telling mom.
Oh, go. What's she going to do? She's just going to wonder why she didn't get asked the 5-pack of questions. Which, by the way, you'll see it right after we post this. We'll put it on the Facebook page, and we want to see your answers, and we'll talk about it next week. Okay. So, first thing, your favorite Eagles uniform of all time, and please specify home or away.
That's my emblem, man. It's if you look at the poster behind me, that's the away jersey. Man, that Kelly Green, that 90-91 Kelly Green jersey with the silver pants, bruh. That to me, that symbolizes the Eagles, man. With that Kelly Green helmet with the big silver wings on it. Oh man,
Now,
that's the Eagles. That's the Eagles uniform. You know what I mean? That's
to
it right
me,
there.
actually, that poster is my favorite jersey. The away white with the green for some odd reason. I don't know why.
Okay,
I actually like that more than the Kelly Green, but Kelly Green's a close second.
right.
Um, Now, your favorite jersey that is not associated with Philadelphia.
So can I cheat and give you two?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. One's NBA and the other one is NFL. One is the 1993. They were all alternative jersey for the Phoenix Suns. It was the black joints. The black joints, and it had like that
The sun on
orange.
it. Yes.
Yeah, with this them joints. Yo, what? And the old Houston Oilers uniforms.
Oh yeah, love them blue.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go three. I'm sorry, three. I gotta give you three because this was tough. The AFC, the 80s and early 90s Seattle Seahawks home uniforms, that dark like that dark blue, that blue with the silver pants. That shit was tough.
See now, for me, I only have one, but
Largent joints.
close second. What's that?
I said the old Steve Largent uniform.
Right. The original Kurt Warner uniforms, not the
Yes, the
quarterback, the
original Kurt
running
Warner.
back.
The 42, number 42.
For me, it was the Rasheed Wallace, Vince Carter, mid '90s North Carolina. Those
Yeah.
blue jerseys were just
Hmm.
awesome. I will give you a close second. I know it's simple, but the old AFL white Raider jerseys with like the silver numbers,
Yeah,
those were
that
dope.
is a nice. Yeah, those are dope. They were definitely dope. Yeah.
Favorite video game franchise of all time? The Mega Man series is,
You know what? You know what? As soon as you spit that out, I was like, I know this dude gonna say Mega Man.
of course, man,
You love
without
you
a
some
doubt.
Mega Man. You love you some Mega Man. I'm gonna say probably the Assassin's Creed
Okay, it's a good.
and and a close second the Far Cry games, the Far Cry series, which I cannot wait till the next Far Cry comes out in February.
I've never played a Far Cry game.
Oh, boy, you don't know what you're missing.
Well, winter break is coming up. Guess I know what I'm going to do.
Start with Far Cry 3. Because the next Far Cry, I think it's 6, is going to be a prequel to Far Cry 3. So it's going to be like you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And none of the Far Cries have anything to do with the other one until this one. So, but they're just it's
So,
cool.
if I had to say second, it would actually be I really enjoyed the Grand Theft Auto series.
I do too. I really like Grand Theft Auto, but that's kind of obvious. You know what I mean? That's like one of them
Right,
obvious.
right, right. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's crazy because if we would have been doing this 5 years ago, we would have both been like maddening.
Oh, Madden has been just man, it's so such a shame. What
Trash,
Madden? Uh,
trash.
a place in Philadelphia you hate to be stuck at or you hated to visit. And I'm gonna give you mine, just
Okay.
So for me, I love the Liberty Bell, but as a kid, waiting in line on a class trip for 2.5 hours to see a bell with a crack in it that I couldn't even get within 20 feet of was just annoying as hell to me. And it always stuck with me Granted, now I've seen it as an adult. It is a cool thing to see if you don't have to wait in a long ass line for it. And it's more so the line and all that. Although I will say, anytime I have to be on Roosevelt Boulevard ever during rush hour, it's a close second.
So, as you're talking, I think it was probably the most. Listen, I have the skyline of Philadelphia tattooed on my arm. So I love my city. Rocky behind me, love it. Um, so as you're thinking, I had a deep thought. Probably the most miserable time of my life, and we grew up kind of hard, but is that motherfucking Philadelphia Traffic Authority, Parking Authority.
Market
When
authority.
my car got fucking towed that time outside of Mom's condo that time, that
Listen,
was the
it
worst.
was so notoriously bad they made a show about it. Think about
Yes,
it.
yes, yo, oh my God, yo, I went through
The
that. Like when y'all saw
EPA.
this,
They
woo,
purposely put it in the middle of nowhere so that way you cannot be distracted when you get there. You can't just
bro,
walk
and you can't.
somewhere and come back. No, you gotta wait.
No, you can't go like you can't go to a Wawa shop, get your hoagie, eat what? Nope, nope.
There's literally the only way you can get there is in a car, which by the way, if you're there, you don't have your car. So, you
So
know,
we had to Uber it.
yeah, which that's the first time you ever used Uber.
Yes.
That was your introduction to Uber. Uber was relatively new at this point. And all that's around there is dirt, literally dirt. It's a
Yeah, you
dirt
go up
alley.
a hill and then there's just a freaking parking lot of all these cars. And you're like in a little building like this. Hmm.
So later today, they are going to announce the 25 finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2021. And there's about 150 names now. There's quite a few former Eagles there. So I asked you if you could only name one. I excluded Donovan McNabb from this. I know you would have said Donovan. Only one can get in. And these are people that played for the Eagles, not based off their Eagles career or based off their career in general. If you had to choose between Randall Cunningham, Ricky Waters, Herschel Walker, Jimmy Smith, Seth Joyner, Takeo Spikes, Eric Allen, Asante Samuel, or David Akers, only one can get in 2021. Who is it?
I'm gonna have to give you two. And
No,
here's why.
no. One. That's the whole point. One.
If it's one, count. All right. So are we not counting their outside? Because I think the person I want to pick.
These people are
So probably
actually
not.
all on the part of the 150. They're all part of the 150. So
No, but what I'm saying is that this person's probably not going to get in, even though they deserve it, because of an outside thing after their football career was over.
sure.
So can I exclude that?
Yeah, no, this is if you had the vote, you were the final vote. Who would it be? That's it, regardless of
Jimmy
anything.
Smith. Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith. Of all them, that would be the person you'd vote for.
Hmm.
Wow. Explain
Yo,
yourself.
21 straight games with five catches or more. Almost like I think he has like 12, 13,000 receiving yards. Um, show you how good he was. Mark Brunell was a decent quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
right? I remember
And Keenan
arguably,
McCardle was decent on the other side as well.
huh?
Keenan McCardle, that was his other receiver.
Keenan McCardle was good. Yeah. And they had Kyle Brady. It
Right.
was a good team. So he did something. When I realized how good he really, really was in 2000, where he had like 290, 300 yards receiving against that 2000 Ravens defense. You get what I'm saying? Like, Jimmy Smith was a monster, bro. Like, he was really, really. I mean, of course, excuse me, when I said you, I was going to say Seth as well. But, but I don't, I'm afraid that he has all the numbers, but he had all the things too. You get what I'm saying? Like, he had,
See, my choice would be Eric Allen because
right.
Eric Allen was decent, was amazing on the Eagles. He wasn't bad on the Saints, but was really good with the Raiders as well.
And to be honest with you, if it wasn't during those years, if it wasn't for another 21, he would have probably been the best corner in the league,
Right. Well,
arguably. arguably.
During those years, it was Deion Sanders, Rod Woodson, Eric Allen, and Deion and Rod Woodson because they were on the Niners, which were the darlings, and the Cowboys,
Right.
you know, and Rod Woodson was on the Steelers, got more coverage than the Eagles did.
And that's what I'm saying. There was another 21 that kind of took his shine. And that was by name Deion Sanders, who I feel
Right.
is arguably the best cover corner in NFL history.
And I just will throw this in there. It is
Okay.
Thanksgiving week.
Hmm.
Beyond turkey, what is your favorite Thanksgiving thing as far as food wise?
Man, as you know, see, as you know, my house is the holiday house. Um, so she switches it up, my wife. She switches it up. If she decides to do the macaroni and cheese, that baked macaroni and cheese with the three cheeses she makes, I'm gonna rock with that. But sometimes she'll have that on Christmas and then the candy yams that she makes with the marshmallows and oh god.
I will say, yeah. Like, I mean, candied
He
yams,
said
mac and
yeah.
cheese, all the
He just said
things.
yeah.
I mean, to me, as you know, and I know it's not a traditional Thanksgiving thing, but anybody who's ever hosted with a big family, and it's not even just for Thanksgiving, you put them out, you could put them out for Arbor Day. You got a decent deviled egg, it's over.
I want to retract my statement because either she does either the candy yams on Christmas or Thanksgiving or the macaroni and cheese. The one thing she makes on both holidays that I really love that she always makes is her collard greens.
And now we get to the picks.
Who the picks?
We got 3 Thursday night games. So we'll
Fucking
start with
Ravens.
the 1 o'clock Houston Texans at Detroit Lions.
I'm gonna go Houston, 20-10.
I initially thought Detroit would win this, but they're just banged up, man. I don't know if DeAndre Swift is back. So I got Houston 28-20. And then we got the Washington football team against the Dallas Cowboys.
I think Dallas, honestly, is going to be a little pissed off because this was the game where they were called cowards because nobody stood up for Andy Dalton. And Andy Dalton is going to be second game back, and they're going to try to prove that they really have his back, and they're going to give it to him. But I'm still going to go with Washington, 24-23.
They should just make this a Thursday. Every time they play on Thursday night is great for Thanksgiving. They should just make this the third Thursday night Thanksgiving Day game. Baltimore or Pittsburgh every year.
I'll be honest with you. This isn't going to be one of them. Baltimore was struggling as it is, and I didn't see exactly which players, but now they got three fake. They just came on right before you called me to do this. They just announced some players are going to be on the COVID list for Thursday. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. Baltimore has burnt me too many times this year when I think they're just going to come out and they don't. So they were the difference between last week because you chose Tennessee last week and I chose Baltimore. Uh, yeah, I'm going 27-23 Pittsburgh.
I got Pittsburgh 27-24. The way you were talking, I thought you were going to say it was a blowout. But no, I think Baltimore keeps it close, but I think Pittsburgh at home,
Yeah.
they're going to win. And I think it's going to be, just you can tell Baltimore is not going to win this division. I mean, Pittsburgh is undefeated, and I think Pittsburgh's going to finish. I personally think Pittsburgh's going to finish 14-2. I think they're going to lose along the way and then just be like, sit their starters the last game of the season. The Chargers at the Bills.
I'm going to go Buffalo, 27-24.
I got Buffalo too, 31-27. Man, Justin Herbert just looks better and better each game. Two coaches who I really like. If you had to vote for the captain of the Meatheads, it would be the Tennessee Titans coach, Mike Vrabel. And against the true architect of that Eagles teams, Frank Wright, Tennessee and Indianapolis.
Yeah. The Wentz whisperer.
Anyway, Tennessee, Colts. Who's winning?
Listen, man. I think on my other arm I'm gonna get a Colts tattoo. Just kidding. I'm definitely gonna probably get next year or the year after that. I want to get my Wentz Colts jersey. Indianapolis 20-27. You're now my second favorite team, as long as Frank Wright is their head coach.
Once again, most underrated quarterback in the league, Ryan Tannehill. And Tennessee wins 24-17. Carolina at Minnesota. The Carolina Temple Owls against the Minnesota Vikings.
Fuck Minnesota. Y'all couldn't beat the fuck Cowboys yesterday, you bastards. I fucking said
at home.
At home. Hey, yo, like I must have put the kibosh on them. Well, we both did because you've been preaching Justin Jefferson. I've been preaching Dalvin Cook, and so I'm gonna go with Carolina, 24-20.
You know where I want to go. Temple coach Frank Rule coaching Temple's Robbie Anderson to run that perfect route for Temple's PJ Walker. Of course, man, I got to go Carolina, 27-20. Cleveland at Jacksonville. Cleveland, I have 27-17. Jake Luton, his carriage is finally turning into a pumpkin.
Yeah, 23-13. Cleveland. No reason to really go deep into that.
The New York Giants against the Cincinnati Bengals, who, man, poor Joe.
Man. Yo, shredded his knee, bro. Shredded it. If he was playing, I would have won Cincinnati. But he's not. And the Giants, man, listen, I'm saying it now. Maybe me saying the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl put the kibosh on them, so let me reverse the fortunes. The Giants are going to win the playoffs, or the division. So I got the Giants 21-14.
Got the Giants 24-10. I'm going to be very sad week 17 watching the Giants and Cowboys play for the division. Arizona at New England.
Arizona 24-13. It's not even close.
I think that it's going to be a close game. If it ends up being bad weather, I would like to say New England, but I don't know the weather. I'm just going to go with the better team. I think Arizona wins, but it's going to be close, 27-20. Miami Dolphins, who benched Tua, and the New York Jets in New York.
Terrible, man. You got to let that kid take his lump, show. Like, you know what I mean?
Listen, I watched that.
What are you telling the kid, though? What are you telling the kid?
I'm telling the kid that I'm protecting you because you have a bum ankle, and I can see that you're not moving around. It was more of an injury thing than it was.
Okay. Because based off of sport, it was just like, Tua was struggling. They decided to go with
he was struggling because he was getting beat up. I think he got sacked like 6 times. And part of it wasn't that he wasn't holding on to the ball as much. He couldn't move. His ankle was swelled up so much. So they were like, yo, man, let's get you out the game. It was to protect him. That's really what it was about. It wasn't a you suck, we're gonna bench you. Nah. It was, yo, we down by 2 scores. If somehow Fitzpatrick pulls this out, you still a quarterback either way. We need to protect you, bro, because we're going to need you for the stretch run. That's what that was about.
Okay. So, all right, I'm still going Miami 24-7.
Yeah, I got Miami 31-20. Las Vegas against Atlanta.
Yo, looked like, I don't know if you remember, but Carr stand on the sideline, looked like that little girl staring at the Miz when he won his first title and he cashed the Money in the Bank, where she just stared at him in the stands. WWE reference. I think Vegas, he was pissed off, so I think Vegas is going to come out and they're going to take it out on Atlanta. But I think Atlanta still gets some offensive juice, so I'm still going with Las Vegas 28-23.
Yeah, I got Las Vegas 34-20.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that the Vegas defense is better than people give it credit for. The Saints against the Broncos.
I'm going to go with Denver.
In Denver, they're going to go on a 2.
In Denver. Taysom Hill running around. It's only going to last for so long.
He had 200 passing yards.
I get it, but I'm going with Denver. 24-20.
I think the Saints win 28-17. The Niners at the Rams.
I'm going Rams 17-23.
This is my upset special. I think the Niners find a way to beat the Rams in LA, and they pull it out on a last-second field goal, 24-23. Kansas City at Tampa Bay.
I think this is going to be a fun game. Um, but I think I'm still gonna rock. It's hard to go against Andy and MVP. So Kansas City are going 31-28.
I got Kansas City 238-34. Sunday night, Chicago at Green Bay.
I'm gonna go with Green Bay. 28-17.
Chicago seems to always get Green Bay after a loss. And yeah, it's going to be 31-17. And it might even be worse than that. And then we get to Monday Night Football.
Hopefully they change this shit so we don't get embarrassed again on national TV.
They don't flex Monday. They flex Sunday night. They don't flex Monday night.
These motherfuckers need to play it Tuesday at 2 a.m.
Here's the crazy thing, and this is what upsets me, man. By the way, I have Seattle winning 31-24.
I got Seattle winning 28-17.
Yeah, so I mean, and it's not even gonna be that close. It's just that
No,
garbage touchdown or whatever. So we both got the Eagles losing to the Seattle Seahawks, and
to be honest with you, Mark Schlereth made a very good point yesterday, and he said with the running backs that they have with Sanders, and I know he's been banged up, but still, even with what's called in the type of even with oh my God, I forgot his name, Scott, and the style of quarterback that Carson is, if you became almost like a run first style offense, move in a pocket, play action. What I saw in the second half, especially, is with the Browns is how I feel we should have ran our offense. That hard play action and that rollout opposite direction, and man.
So we mentioned one thing, and I don't want to go too far on this because we're about at our time. We were talking earlier, and I said I feel like Doug Peterson is sabotaging this kid, which, I mean, obviously that's far-fetched and what have you. But here's the thing. Last week, the first time Doug Peterson called a play where Carson rolled outside the pocket with 6:17 left in the third quarter.
Right.
Doug Peterson came out and said, you need to do a better job, and he understands that. So to top that, the first time he calls a play where Carson is designed to roll outside the pocket is in the fourth quarter.
In a game where you were 19 carries, right, in the first half, and you were getting the ball back, 19 carries for 96 yards. The running game was moving. It was going. You come out and pass. Not one play action. Wouldn't you think, like me personally, I would have called a hard play action, pulled him out and had, Rieger, the deep post and just took a shot on first down.
But
You
this is
understand what I'm saying? Like,
that gets his center
bro,
first snap to do some dipsy do mesh shotgun play. Like I can't. But
I
listen,
know. And real quick, it's always the players. I get it. Carson's the quarterback. He has been playing bad. I feel it's because of coaching. But we're also as a fan base, we're also saying that it's not Doug's fault. The same guy that decided to put the same guy where his all-pro center was out, and the first time this backup center comes in the rain on the road, decides on third and long, decides to have him do shotgun.
right? That's what I was just saying.
Yeah.
I will say this though. Listen, it is Thanksgiving week. Let's just be thankful we even have games to watch.
Yeah. On a non-sports, everybody, I'm a little bit of a nerd, so Mandalorian season 2 kicked off on Disney Plus. It's an awesome show. If you really, really want to get into the Mandalorian, especially the season 2, I know we're all grown adults. I'm 43. I found myself doing it. Watch season 7 of Star Wars Clones. Yes, I'm referring to cartoon. Star Wars Clones. If you watch that through, and then you watch season 2 of Mandalorian, you'll have with the people that are coming in, because the movies don't emphasize who these people are, but they were in on the Clone War cartoon. So you just watch season 7, you'll be like, wow. So
you're talking to a guy that has Mega Man and Punch Out on his wall, and when we do our cuts, it's always put in some sort of cartoon, Family Guy, American Dad reference in there. So I think people know we're good with the cartoons. But listen, man, stay safe. Please stay safe. Hopefully you get.
Happy Turkey Day.
What's that?
I said Happy Turkey Day. And those of you like myself who are trying to get a PS5, good luck.
Yeah, I don't understand how my GameStop told me they were already sold out for their Black 5 PS5s when they weren't supposed to go on sale until Friday. But they're already sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give the guy credit. When I asked him, he said, "Well, employees get first dibs. We only have 5, and all 5 employees bought them." Why you would tell a customer that, I don't know, but
Yeah,
oh,
that's definitely changed from when I was at GameStop.
right. I mean, it is what it is. But all right, people. Till next week. Peace.
Peace.